Welcome. Oh, let me post something. Welcome. Sorry about that. Feel like every time I go post something on Facebook, they change something. Welcome. Pleasure to be before you today. Have an interesting message. I intended to share this with you last Friday, but prior to Friday of last week, Thursday, my heater went out and I had to call the landlord, and I didn't have heat until the repairman came and repaired it next morning, which was Friday, and I completely forgot about this message. I have heat now. But then I was doing something prior to logging on, and I had an interesting thought that the message that I have tonight was not meant to be shared last Friday. And you're going to see what I mean. The title of the message, you saw the broadcast news. So what is the message title? News. I had a revelation about the news. For those of you who know me and have watched or listened to any of my videos, I do speak in metaphors and parables, utilizing the gift that God gave me to bring forth messages from the things that I see and the things that I hear. I put together this message. I may comment on some of them, some of the statements, and I may read it through. It is going to be on Facebook. Facebook has a policy now. They keep videos for 30 days and then delete them. So I'll be doing this video again or downloading it to my He Still Speaks Now Listen channel so it can be saved and make a better version of it with a thumbnail and some other features with it. But I come to you to share this message. I was thinking many years ago I used to do pop-up Facebook messages in the morning before I go to work, and I've utilized this channel for many, many years. And He Still Speaks Now Listen was given to me by God many years ago before I got to the place where I'm at now. What does that mean? God is constantly speaking to us. And if you have a problem listening to Him, maybe you'll listen and trying to listen for something that you think He should be saying. And then you say, oh, God is not speaking to me. But He is. We just need to listen and get on the vibration that what He is telling us. So I thought about it, the messages that I've written over the years. I've been writing for 47 years. Who thought, God willing, God allowed me to wake up each and every day of those years to put the message together. I have a stack of stuff that I'm going to get to share, and He gave me this particular phrase, He Still Speaks Now Listen, on my YouTube channel, because the message that He have gave me, I have been guilty for not sharing them with you all, and I ask Him to forgive me for that. And I intend to share on the channel He gave me, He Still Speaks Now Listen. I do have other YouTube channels, but this is the one He wanted me, that He gave me first. So I thought about the message. It's going to come to you in the form of the news, but not in a way that you think. It's going to be a new revelation for you. You're never going to look and listen to the news after you hear this particular message. And it's my hope that you get something from it. So let me look at my notes that I wrote prior to. Yes, I said that. And in a few days, or even today, sound of my voice, some parts of the states, in the cities, in the world, are experiencing a snowstorm or bad weather that's supposed to hit Saturday, maybe Saturday, Sunday, Monday in some states. I saw a video that the snow is up above cars in some place in Canada. And the weather, and we know what can happen when weather hits a city. Power go down, people don't have food, water, and basic necessities. And which is appropriate for the message that I have. You have heard news about the upcoming weather in some parts of the world and states. And it's my prayer that those who live in those states, that God will watch over them and they receive the necessary help or to be comforted in whatever they're experiencing. So it's going to happen. There'll be lots of news about the damage. There'll be lots of broadcasts about the news, the damage. People hurt, missing people, no heat, closed roads, no flights in and out of the state or city, power outage, no water, stores closed, people don't have food, snow damage in many, many areas of their state. On this day, I'm going to share news. News, what God revealed to me, the storm that's coming toward those states is news. My news is a topic. And as I was writing this down, I said, wow, I perceive that informational news is going to come in our lifetime, that we're going to hear informational news, and that's going to disrupt the mental and emotional mindset of the people. That they're going to wake up and go, wait a minute, how did I miss that storm? When did that happen? Oh, I thought it was always like that. You know, the basic thing that people say. But this topic came to me one morning. I was writing up a dream or doing something, and news popped on my mind. News. We all live in a certain state. We have various news channels in your city and state. And then I had an interesting thought. Maybe you thought about it, but I didn't. News. What does it really mean? North, east, west, and south. It's the news. The news that you and I hear on the radio and the TV and the airwaves, coming from the north, east, west, and south. With that alone, it should give you a wow. You probably never thought about it. So wherever you live, on the north, east, west, and south, you are getting your news. Okay, they say something about my friend where I got a pop-up error. I notice every time when I do a message, I get, depending on what the message I get error. You write this message down that says, and let me close that. Can't see myself. And Let me begin. This message was created from the news I heard and saw. The word news entered my mind. I have a deep understanding that I'm going to share that you may never consider. Many people say news as it pertains to information being broadcast on the radio and television airwaves. Oh, the news. They have their favorite news station. They have their favorite newscaster or weatherman, and they record it. Don't want to miss it. Many people say news. It also stands for north, east, west, and south, the directions from which information flows. And truly, we hear news from every direction. Peaceful news, troublesome news, shootings, unaliving, kidnapping, religious conflicts, governmental news, corporate scandals, fear-driven reports, personal tragedies, weather updates, and so much more from every corner of the world, from every direction, north, east, west, and south. I'm sorry about that. News function like a weather pattern, constantly moving, stirring emotions, provoking anger, hate, racism, division, lies, confusion, and much more. Yet when truthful news is spoken, it is often rejected because of personal biases, belief, or lack of knowledge. Even when facts, evidence, videos, clear communication are present, many people reject them simply because they do not align with their false news they have already believed. Let's go further. We all know the word television, or some would say tell-a-vision, through movies, broadcast, entertainment. It casts vision into the mind of the public, shaping what people think. Many are programmed by their favorite shows and network, recording them faithfully and believing everything they hear. Some people are mentally influenced by someone else's tell-a-vision. Excuse me. This news is no different. It creates a television mindset, shaping how people see the world. We are all experiencing a climate of news designed to create fear, uncertainty, hopelessness, and negativity. The news cycle moves like a storm sweeping across the country, entering the minds of millions. No one is exempt. At any moment, we can receive a bulletin, an alert, a warning text, and more news will follow. When we are programmed by the tell-a-vision and the news, we resist considering any alternative. So what is alternative? Truth. But whose truth? When was the last time you heard a newscaster speak about God as our defense and defense, our spiritual weapon against the news and tell-a-vision? Broadcaster cast their vision and news into the spiritual sea. Many people take the bait and become hooked, becoming a part of the system by choice. If we are honest, we will see that we live in a world shaped by tell-a-vision. The climate of news entering our lives. Some people, aware or unaware, have become slaves to their self-imposed news and television masters. Even those who avoid movies or live off the grid are not exempt. There's another weapon radio channels, music, talk shows, broadcasts that the influence mentally and emotionally vulnerable, creating division and controlling behaviors, etc. Many people don't want to be unplugged from the news or TV programming because they enjoy the benefits. So where is our safe place? It is in the mind of God. To those of us who choose to let Him help us, must have His mind to resist the bad news and programming. When was the last time you heard a bulletin, a headline, begin with what God did? I haven't. Have you? I've seen watered down and heard watered down programs or messages that suggest God does not exist. Believing such thing leaves us hopeless, without a Savior and vulnerable to unrestricted flow of negative news. Think, think of me as your weather person, not pointing at a map, but pointing at you, pointing at your news, forecasts, and broadcasts, north, east, west, and south. We receive information from people mouths. They may be living in the north, the east, the west, and the south of the cities, town, counties, and state. And we get another version of it from the TV program in a local news channel. And if you have cable all over the world, or even satellite, we get our news in dish. We get our news. And normally all the news that we hear, I don't know about you, but I can turn on a radio station or turn on a television station and listen to the news program, and they're basically saying the same thing. They may say it in a different way, but they're saying it in a different way. It's like there's no difference. There's no why all the news program is repeating the same thing. Tell a vision. When I want to influence you, when I want to make you think a certain way, I have to tell you a story. I have to tell you my vision. And if you believe it, you accept my vision and not your vision. Think of me as your weather person, not pointing at a map, but pointing at your news forecasts and broadcasts. The news that you're receiving from the mouths of people all around you, and the news that you're receiving from the TV and radio, and the news that you broadcast from your mouth that may be negative or positive. You will experience you will experience behavioral weather, sunny, cloudy, windy, raining, snowy conditions in your life. You also face drizzles, fall, thunderstorm, hail, blizzard, hurricane, and tornado of thoughts caused by the television, the news, and even people around you. Some thoughts are blocked by uh, see, emotional and mental frost, smog, even rainbows of self-interest. These conditions create confusion, making it hard to see the road of truth, causing fear and uncertainty. We often hear, dress and be prepared for the weather. But can we truly be prepared? Your words can become overcast, cloudy, windy, rainy, or snowy. They can they can drizzle, hail, or sleet like thoughts. You may think that you may think your life, you may think you have control in your life, but you do not. For those people living in another mental state, north, east, west, and south, relying on themselves with no belief in God, there will be thunderstorms, blizzards, tornadoes, and hurricanes, typhoons, cyclones of thoughts causing deep confusion, pain, exposing you. These weather patterns represent life experiences, not only true protection. These weather patterns represent life experiences, and our and our truly, I'm sorry, and our truth, and our only true protection is God. Oops, I forgot. I'm supposed to be a weatherman, not talking about God. Finally, we have the church, a place meant for the truth. But sadly, some who preach are part of the system, teaching from various religious mindsets, spreading false messages, north, east, and west and south, programming people about lies about God's word, and sharing their vision of perception. They preach from their own self-made news channel, creating an ungodly current of spiritual danger in the lives of their listeners. We need God's help to rise above the news, TV, radio, movies, and anything else that interferes with God's communication signals. His word does not program us. He tells us what to say and do, not for our sake, but for His. He wants us to use. He wants to use us to bring about a change. In order for things to change in your city or in your life, God must send a newscaster, a friend, a family member to you to reveal to you the information that has been revealed to them. Whether you accept it or not, it's totally up to you. A change must happen. When we see a physical storm tearing up whatever, destroying different cities, look at it from a political position or your lifestyle position or whatever you want to apply it to. It's a tornado, a hurricane, a cyclone, snow, sleet, rain, mist, or whatever type environment. We all, whether you're aware of it or not, until I share this message with you, we do experience various storms in our lives. Storms-like behaviors, storm-like thoughts, from our own self speaking it from our mouths, or we allow ourselves to be wet by the rainy thoughts. The thoughts are no good. The weather, the hurricane, the thunderstorm, the hail. Hail come down from the sky. People pounce on us with words and negativity, and they constantly want to beat us with. So look at the weather. Any form of weather that we experience or see on the news, we can apply to our lives and look at it from a spiritual position. And say, oh, I can't stand this. Stop. You're being pounded with hail coming from the mouths of yourself or from other people. His message flows through his mind into his chosen individuals, or others who decide that they want his mind. Giving hope, he manifests through people so he can be seen and heard through his spiritual airwaves to create a change within the mind set of those who wants to know. God does not tell a vision, broadcast news, create movies, host radio shows, or produce special events or series. His spirit speaks directly to his mind, to the minds of those he chooses. God chooses God. I'm sorry, let me repeat that. His spirit speaks directly to the minds of those he chooses and those who want his mind. He shares his thoughts and his ways, bypassing the news, radio, television, and every other form of programming and broadcasting. It is my hope that this message create a new mindset about the news that you are receiving, physically from the north, east, and west and south, as we know the news. We must desire to hear what his spirit is saying from the north, east, west, and south of spiritual individuals, spiritual newscaster speaking what he wants to be spoken at your time that you need to receive it. Remember, he still speaks now. Listen, God is always speaking. the problem that we have. We say, God's not talking to me. Is it because we are looking for him? We are trying to hear or hope that he speak and tell us what we want to hear that go against the news that we hear from our friends or associate? Some people make up their own news. Yo, you make up a news, so we make up a lie. Individual, I can apply this to myself. We can make up lies about ourselves and about others and blame this on that on people. When people are communicating, when you communicate after this message, think of it, when you're communicating, you're bringing news to your listeners, to your friend, family, friend, cousin, niece, and nephews. From what you heard from the TV and radio, or what you heard from someone text you and tell you. When people text now, that's a form of news. It's in a different, very different form, so they share news. And I don't have that in my notes. So when we have a conversation, we are spreading news, lies, unbelief. When we are having a conversation with other people, are we casting thunderstorms, bad weather, emotions, stirring up hurricane and cyclone? They're going to stir up the land. Our words can be typified as the storm, various storms. So what storm are you experiencing? Can you really dress for the weather? Not really. You can, but what if it doesn't rain? What if you leave home without your umbrella? We must be prepared to receive God news from his individual that will come from the north, east, west, and south across this country into our lives. Our belief and disbelief will be a factor. And one came to me, some thought, I want proof. Or so-and-so is not saying what you are saying. And it's not accepted. But every news channel can say the same thing and people will believe it. Some will believe and some people will not. But when we as God newscaster would send us to the north, the east and west and south, using whatever available means that he's want to use to bring about a change, a new mindset. So God is always speaking. I shared this with someone and they wrote it down. I gave them the thing and they at work. And this is their perspective. What comes to mind is tell, lie, vision. She wrote tell, lie, vision. We are true vessels of goodness and godliness. All other things are man-made, channels, TV, radio, music, etc. While we channel from within through the love and life and truth of the divine, operating in truth, not perfection. But truth comes from within. Tell, lie, vision exists to create confusion and chaos within. Being filled with the Spirit allows us to see past the lies and embody the truth. This was a female at work. Her perception of the message. So it is my hope and prayer that this message caused you to think. I know it did to me. And even if it's not about judging or criticism, it's about sharing what God gave me to share with you. And I close by saying this. The news, when you open your mouth and communicate with other people, you are sharing some type of news. So what channel that you're going to broadcast on? News come on different channels and different times. When are you going to broadcast godly news opposed to negative news? Is your news and information that you're sharing about you and what you want and how it benefits you and what you can get from it? Or is the news that you're sharing is what God has gave you to share? So begin to think about that. I know I have. You will never look at the news or never think of the news. You will think of the news in a different way from this message I gave you. North, east, west, and south, where we get our information from. Radio, TV, network, cell phone, any forms of communication, we're getting our news. We're getting information from the north, east, west, and south. Spiritually speaking, God can speak to any one of us to tell His news, His information, that He's in control of everything. What we see all around us look bad, but everything comes from God. Well, Anthony, how can everything come from God when it's bad? To believe that it's not coming from God and it's coming from somewhere else, then God is not God. God is in control of everything. Well, Anthony, you preaching. No, I'm not preaching. I'm spelling it out in a way that you can understand. Some people are going to change, some people are not going to change. And I said this to someone earlier today, or sometime this week. When you want the truth, you'll seek the truth. Remember the Matrix? You take the red pill and the blue pill? That some people fight, my words, some people fight tooth and nails to stay in the Matrix. And they're thinking they don't want to be free. They like being controlled. They don't realize their program. They're walking, living dead individuals. Walking the street, going to work, doing whatever, blinded. So allow this message. Share it with other people. Again, I will record it again. I gotta download it and then make it, with a thumbnail for YouTube, because Facebook take this message off in 30 days. So thank you. God willing, I'll be back, Lord willing, next Friday. I intend to broadcast every week until every week, unless the Lord change the date and time. So thank you for taking time out to listen to this message. May you be blessed. It's my prayer that God will give you your understanding, that you will receive whatever He has from you, from the north, west, east, and south, coming from those who all around you or from other sources. Thank you.